Imagine looking out of your office and seeing a room full of employees who enjoy coming to work every day and who love what they do. Fortunately, that's not the case that we have at this company. We have a serious issue with morale. We took some exit surveys from some of the people that quit, and we found that 1 out of every 3 employees leaves after their first year. 2 out of every 3 employees leaves after their 5th year. And their biggest takeaways for us were that they were being micromanaged far too much. They were not getting incentivized enough, and that they did not have enough free time. We need to figure out how to fix this, because going forward the company is getting a little upset because it takes about $50,000 to train one person, and if 1 out of every 3 people are leaving after the first year, we're losing money on this, and we need to figure out a way to fix this. We will be making changes. We've looked into different company strategies and what they do. We found that CarMax does a lot of employee incentivizing, and they put a lot of money into training their employees and giving their employees benefits. And then we looked into Charles Schwab, and they have a 401k matching system that whatever the employee puts in, 401k will match, Charles Schwab will match it. And they also give financial assistance to employees so that they can teach them how to better manage their money and how to invest properly. And if we could take a couple of things away from these companies, we could definitely build a better program for keeping our people, mainly because we're losing money, we're losing employees, and we need to find a way to retain our employees. The company will match us for how much it costs to implement this. They've given us a year, so we have to have this viable within a year. If we make these little changes, it should be relatively quick. We are going to have to have monthly meetings with different groups of people, not the same people every time. That way we can get a different perspective on what's going on. We're not considering it micromanaging because we're not telling them how to do something. We're getting their feedback. We're going to be looking into the budget more, seeing what we can cut that we are spending unnecessarily, so that way we can have a little bit of extra cash around for incentivizing employees if they finish projects on time or earlier than on time. If they finish work that is due in the future but they get it done early and it works for us, we will be giving bonuses out like that as we see fit. We will also be reworking the schedule so that way the same people aren't working the same days over and over and over, and they're not working too much. That way it gives them more free time to hang out with their families. We're not calling them in on days off, things like that. We're also going to look into planning like picnics and things like that, work functions, so that they feel included as a whole and not just an individual that comes to work and sits in a cubicle and isn't appreciated at work. If we can implement these things along with getting the feedback, because the feedback is important to see how it's working, what we need to change, little tweaks that we can make in this system, we should be able to effectively implement this within a year. And if it's working and working and working, we will be saving money for the company. We'll be able to put more money into training our employees so that they want to stick around. And we will also be able to put more money into giving them bonuses and better starting salary, so that way they can stick around and be encouraged to stick around. And we need to do this within a year, and it needs to be done properly. And if we're gonna knock this out, we have to get started on it as soon as possible.